I understand Sunday afternoon is not an easy time to leave your home, but you guys are here uh, to listen to somebody who is not just a crime writer. He is a person who has made true crime writing in India literary as well as cinematic at the same time. He is a veteran of crime and investigative reporting, and he's mentored to as many crime reporters as crime authors. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Hussain Zaidi. So, I want to start with this book, which is unique in a sense that it tries to complete two of your previous bestsellers, which were written like one was written in 2002, if I'm correct, and the other one was written in 2012. Black Friday and Dongri to Dubai. It's a unique thing to complete two books. And you mention in your book that it was quite challenging and filled with uncertainty. So what was one I could think the sheer time gap would have been challenging, but why was it so important? What was so important about it that you had to do it despite all those challenges?
See, way back when I wrote Black Friday, uh, am I audible now? So way back when I started writing Black Friday, at that time I wrote my book till the Mumbai Police, Mumbai Crime Branch filing the charge sheet on 4th November 1993, 8 months after the serial blast. But beyond that, beyond the filing of charge sheet, CBI has done a lot of work. I mean, there are humongous amount of work which was done by CBI as the special task force. I mean, of course, headed by Mr. Neeraj Kumar, who's right here, the hero of the whole investigation. So I thought somebody has to tell that story. That story was untold. The way Yaqub came back, the way his entire family was brought back from Dubai, and actually you should read one chapter from his book. It looks like a thriller from Akshay Kumar movie. That's the whole of ISI, whole of the mafia, and single-handed Mr. Neeraj Kumar in Dubai trying to smuggle those 8 guys from Maiman family to Mumbai. So like there was so much more to be told about 1993 blast investigation. So I initially was thinking I will try to update my book Black Friday, but the time never came, or I didn't get enough encouragement from publishers, so that was pending. Now, even when doing Don't to Dubai, I stopped at a point. 6 decades of Mumbai mafia, from 1947 to 2007. So beyond 2007, a lot more has happened in Dawood's life. So the way he has started appointing prime ministers and presidents in Pakistan, and the way he was trying to work at the government of Pakistan and became the kingmaker there, I thought somebody has to tell this story. So how do you do this? Now in Black Friday or Don't Be Dubai, Dawood Ibrahim was the central character. He was the character where he's instrumental in for the blast, serial blast, and he orchestrated several other terrorist acts and etc. It was important that I tell both the story, but should not look like a duplication. I mean, I have to be as a storyteller being very cautious that instead of boring my readers, I try to keep them interested and gripped, uh, which is the biggest challenge. Whenever I write, I don't write for myself. I try to entertain. I try to inform. I try to ensure that the readers, you know, take away something from the book which they have just finished. That was the idea.
And I mean, why now? In the sense of timing, was there anything to like this was you felt this was the right time, or it just took this much time?
I think I always do things at the wrong time. I have never got the timing right. If I had known this, I would have published this book after Dhurandhar. So, so I think you can't tell me that I was looking for some time, appropriate timing. I just finished my research and I thought it's high time. My publishers are demanding the advance back. So I had to, I didn't have enough money to return. I just thought I'll submit the manuscript.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, now getting into the book, the trigger, the person who kind of starts the book
Ji, ji,
for you
ji,
is named Kamal Hassan.
ji.
Ah. Now he's a very interesting
Very
character,
interesting character.
interesting
Very interesting
character,
character.
and even more interesting is the places that he kind of
Yeah, yeah,
forces you to go to meet him.
yeah.
Now you and me both are in Mumbai.
Right.
If we know, if we have to go from one end of Mumbai to
Correct.
another to have a
Correct.
meeting, we'll
Yeah,
think
yeah,
for 3 days.
yeah.
Bangalore, you guys don't have those
Of
traffic
course.
problems.
Yeah.
Huh?
They only take time in
They
reaching
yeah,
airport. I think
they
only that,
just
that's the only
zoom
farthest
in
thing.
and zoom out.
Correct.
So, but here you are crisscrossing world over. So how did you manage? I know you are used to unpredictability.
No, I mean, I have been to like all kinds of dangerous places earlier. I have barely survived a blast in Iraq, and I got kidnapped there. In Pakistan, I was almost shot dead. So, I mean, I've been through all the adventures in my life. So, for me, these are like routine work. For me, I didn't feel danger. What I just felt was that the man was kind of dictating terms that if I need this particular piece of story, I should travel all the way to, changing a flight in Istanbul and going to Stockholm. Only then he will tell me a story. Now, I was so crazy. My whole point is that there is so much of information about Dawood in the market. Every, Ramu, Chandu, Hari
Hmm.
writes about Dawood. So I thought I have to be, I'm not saying Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm just trying to. So I thought if I'm writing about Dawood, it has to be something exclusive,
Yeah.
something, unwritten, something untold. So this guy was really giving me inside information about the way uh, Asif Zardari plotted Benazir Bhutto's murder with the help of Lashkar and ISIS. I mean, and the way he explained the whole thing. For me, it was unbelievable. I was not ready to believe it. And then he said, "आप अपने मुल्कों की फिल्में देखते नहीं." Like you don't watch movies in your own country. We are learning from those movies, and they are orchestrating here in our country. And then he mentioned that movie Badshah of Shah Rukh Khan. He said how husband killed the wife to become the chief minister. And he said this is what Asif Zardari has done that with Benazir Bhutto. So those are the things that he was saying, and then he was explaining. Then he gave me a lot of documents, like fantastic documents that he shared with me about Asif Zardari making money and how he was owning earlier a small theater, and then how he was the only president in the world, or maybe before president, that when he was in jail, people hijacked one plane, one commercial airline from Singapore just to demand his release. Now people don't know what such crooks, and he's partner of Dawood Ibrahim. So my whole thing is that people have to know the story. I have to narrate the story in such a way that people remain interested in the stories of Dawood, and something exclusive could be brought out and published. That was the
I
idea.
have to just ask you to tell where all you went to meet him.
So actually, you not believe it, but to be honest, I went to Stockholm for 7 hours. I went to Washington for 2 days. That's how I mean, I've traveled two sides only for 2 days for one story. In Stockholm, I only stayed for 7 hours,
Okay.
and then I came back. And in Turkey, he gave me another 1 hour and 1.5 at the airport, again explaining to me about how Turkey has 22 mosques, and he was trying to tell me how terrorism works and how the finances moves. I mean, those interesting nutmeg, that he was coming the story. I ensure that everything is published in the book. So, well, I traveled all those places.
From Stockholm, I come to this very interesting phrase that you have used,
Yeah.
Daudholm
Yeah.
syndrome, like Stockholm syndrome, about his and
Correct.
Pakistan's
Yeah, yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
I would like you to explain that.
So, if I don't know if you guys remember that way back in late 90s, Pakistanis were dead against Dawood, not just Pakistani mafia, but even the Pakistani media. One guy, Ghulam Hussain, wrote an article in Dawn, and he was kind of banished from Pakistan. So, government wanted to protect Pakistan, but somehow the citizens of Pakistan were against Dawood Ibrahim. And then comes a time that Dawood has become so dear, so precious, so important to these people that now they don't want to let him go. Even if, like, they killed Osama on Pakistani soil, even if America has announced him as a global terrorist in 2004, they don't want to let Dawood go. So there are two reasons. I thought that they have too much love towards Dawood, or rather, they find him too useful for their purposes so that they can create trouble here. But on the other hand, I think that the reason is that they don't want Dawood to be discovered on this soil by anyone, not only in India, but even Americans or other agencies should not be able to find Dawood here. So in a way, they are trapped with Dawood. They can't let him go. They can't be proud of him. They can't clearly say that he's here. But somehow it's a trap which they cannot escape from. So which I thought that like a Stockholm syndrome. I'm sure all of you must be aware that those guys who were in the bank started rooting for the bank robbers. So similarly, these Pakistanis started rooting for Dawood Ibrahim now. So I thought, how else can be explained but say Dawood Holmes syndrome?
Yeah, fascinating. Uh, you mentioned Dhurandhar,
Yeah.
and we are talking about Dawood. So I have to ask you this. There is a certain way of representation that the movie shows Dawood. Of course, they show that even ISI and all that, how they support him. And then they are also like he's on the bed, hospitalized, his, a certain kind of physical condition. Now, you have researched and been writing about Dawood for 30 years. Do you think that representation they have got right?
Have you seen Drishyam? Optical illusion. In Drishyam, I'll tell you why I mentioned that movie. The events happened on some other day, at some other time. But Ajay Devgan kept on repeating, on that day we went to satsang. After that we had food here. Then we went and stayed there. And he repeated this lie so many times that everybody around him started believing that this is the truth. They forgot the real dates, actual events, and the truth, but they started this oft repeated lie became the truth for everyone. In Dhurandhar, for example, I don't want to comment on the filmmakers, anyone, but the point is that Dawood is very much alive and not on bed the way he has been shown. As far as food poisoning is concerned, it was my own podcast. I am having a problem of putting food in my mouth. Sometimes I do reveal exclusive stuff on podcast just like that, thinking that I'll get more views. So in one of the podcasts with Raj Shawani, I had said much before Dhurandhar that he had one, bout of very minor food poisoning. He was taken to Prince Ali Khan Hospital, where he was kept in a special ward, and then he was kind of discharged in a day. This much, that's it. So I didn't say that he was dying or he was critical or his life was in danger, but they kind of thought that this is a good time. Now, as far as Dawood's health is concerned, I have it from his right hand man that Dawood is here in a place near Karachi border, Karachi port, and they've placed him there so that if at all Americans or Indians, for example, if Indian government wants to plan a surgical strike, or if Americans wants to invade Pakistan and look for Dawood, it's very easy for him to escape from that port of Karachi via sea or via air. So they've kept him safe and protected. And he's hale and hearty. I mean, the last I know that a Pakistani actress was having a roaring affair with Dawood Ibrahim. My whole point is, how can an actress have an affair who has just got a Tamgai Imtiaz, will be doing this to a dying man? So, well, for the sake of movie, I told you. So, optical illusion, that is.
Okay. So, my own impression while reading the book was that it's like 10 books in one. So
Yeah.
you have Aditya Pancholi, a
Huh.
whole chapter on
Yeah, yeah,
him.
yeah,
He
yeah.
seems to be getting in trouble for his friends.
Yeah, yeah.
You have what you call the finance minister
Huh.
of the D company, Manish Lala.
Law minister.
Law minister.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. And you talk about how FBI at times, maybe other agencies also work with people on the other side of the law. So you have Kamran working for them. Is there? I mean, I couldn't decide. I mean, I can't ask you questions about all of them. So I'm leaving something to you. That is there anything that you would want to, any character you would want to? What is your favorite? Like,
So, what happens is that normally, I mean, I won't say any favorite because these are not my favorite characters. I always say that for me, these guys are like how a pathologist, examines urine, blood, stool, and for him, they are not very interesting characters. It's a it's a job that he does for his living. So for me, people realize that if I write something else, I tried doing some very nice, interesting, romantic books. Not even 2,000 copies were sold. And then I tried some other books, something on terrorism and other stuff, but people were not reading those books. If at all I write about Dawood, those books will sell well. Filmmakers interested in making some movies on it. So, Majburi, I mean, what can I say? I have to, I have to write about Dawood. Now, the only point I'm trying to make here is that as a writer, as I said, that I want to entertain my readers, and you mentioned Manish Lala, the law minister of Dawood. He was a very smart, sharp man, and he was a kind of a troubleshooter. I mean, you guys, if you're watching series, you must have said that let's call Saul, some that series,
So, yeah.
Saul, the troubleshooter who could always solve the problems for them. Manish Lala was that character. Now, okay, Underworld has a lot of characters and they're very different kind of persons. For me, what was very important was or interesting was Manish Lala's love story with this woman. I mean, a guy who has seen so much of violence, who's living so close to underworld. The man is kind of twisting law. He's kind of manipulating so many ministers, like dealing with cops and all that. But then he has such a soft heart for a woman who's divorced and who had faced some brutality from her earlier husband. Both of them. I mean, I don't think today's world people would be having that kind of romance. This girl, I will not mention her name, you have to read the book. I said how you guys were meeting and how you guys were dating and what Manish liked so much about you. He said nothing. Manish used to come home, used to ask me to make dinner. I used to make dinner and he used to just ask me कि कुछ देर मेरे लिए dance कर दो. And I used to dance for him specially and he used to like that. That was the part of romance that we had. Now coming from that woman, I personally spoke to that woman and the woman said that how he was wooing her, how he was spending hours, just sitting in companionable silence, holding her hand. I can't believe, I mean, these days any of us would be doing it. I mean, I do it, of course, with my wife, but about others, I don't know. that, that you can hold someone's hand for hours and not speak a word and be sitting in that romantic manner.
And the other person keep let you keep doing that.
Well, she's sure that if I'm doing that, I'm not going to let her and go elsewhere. So she's happy.
There is another part. A few years ago in Mumbai, we all, and I mean, anywhere in newspapers and television channels, people would have seen that famous people, film stars, stars' sons, kept doing rounds of a certain office, the NCB, Narcotics Bureau. You write a chapter about that. So those were very famous people, starting with Ria and then Shah Rukh's son Aryan, Nawab Malik, the politician.
See,
I'm
Aryan's.
not going to ask you about them. I mean, you can, of course, if you want to. But what I was going to ask is that we see these kind of a situations where a normal person, let's say, if you and me, you or me, tomorrow we get caught in those kind of situation, and a year or two of somebody's life has gone just like that. His name is ruined. What recourse a common person has, let's say, after, I'm asking you this as a somebody who's deeply researched and been involved with both the crime and the policing side, is that what should a common person do, let's say, after that, if he is declared innocent, how does he establish his life?
Okay, that's a question that's easy to answer. Otherwise, I was going to say that in this country, there are two set of laws for two kinds of people. For ordinary people, there's different set of law, different IPC works for them. I hope Mr. Kumar does not feel upset about it. And for VIPs, ministers, stars, there's a different kind of law. So the whole thing is that a, I mean, a film star or his relative can get away with any kind of crime which normal person cannot. For example, I'll give you an example of Rahul Bhatt, Mahesh Bhatt's son. This man was so close to David Headley that had there been someone else in his place, he would have been thrown behind the bars. For example, his friend Vilas, who was actually training Headley at that time, he was harassed by police so much. Now, Vilas and Rahul Bhatt are very close. But Vilas comes from a slum of Lalbagh in Mumbai. He wanted to commit suicide twice at least. Rahul Bhatt is also being questioned, a suspect and all that, but he was being treated as a VIP treatment. In fact, Mahesh Bhatt himself once told me that he called Manmohan Singh when he was on his special plane going somewhere. Mahesh Bhatt can connect him when Mr. Prime Minister is flying in the air and can lodge his resentment that why his son has been questioned and called to crime again and again. Now, my whole point is why this not happen did not happen for Vilas or so many other youths who get arrested for these kind of incidents. Why they don't face the trauma and the problem which I mean, common man kind of go through. So the problem I'm trying to say is that in this country, if a common man gets trapped in a drug case or a terror case or similar crime, I think he will be doomed for life. He will not be released. For example, you know, in 2006 train blast case, I don't know if you guys are reading newspapers or updated. They were behind the bars for I think 19 years and they just got acquittal. All 17 of them, they got acquitted by the Supreme Court recently. For 19 years, they were in jail. My point is that look how the law was different for those 19 people. I mean, I don't feel any sympathy for them because I think that they were part of the sleeper cell who kind of were not involved. But anyway, they were not convicted in this crime. So the idea is that a common man will not be able to escape from the police clutches and the so-called long arm of the law.
Yeah. I was coming from recently. I read a news
Ji.
in a newspaper that one person was in jail for 57 days because at the airport his luggage was kind of triggered for drugs.
Yeah.
What was actually amchur
Mm.
and some spices.
Okay.
And he spent time, but
They didn't
then
taste it.
I don't know. But then he sued apparently. So
Yeah.
that was something very new for me. I know that that law exists, but he was awarded a 10 lakh kind of a, this thing. So I was coming from there because we see in, let's say, in other countries that there is a certain kind of deterrent that even police or justice department are a little scared about that. Okay, they can be sued. In our country we don't come across those references,
Yeah, don't.
whether it is
Not true.
poor or rich man.
Yeah.
Right. So I was
No,
trying to
I've
get
done a
few.
story in Indian Express where a guy was in jail for 50 years only for crossing railway track and he didn't get a bail. 50 years for crossing railway tracks. I mean, in Indian Express, that was a front page story. So I think in anything happen here. I mean, anyone can get into jail and they will not get released or they will not get bail or whatever. यहाँ सब कुछ हो सकता है.
Okay, now I want to move
Sure, sure.
forward from the book,
Right.
and just talk about your work in general.
जी.
You have met or talked to people all your life जिनके नाम सुन के
मत लीजिए ना.
कॉमन लोग
हाँ, मत
घबरा
लीजिए.
जाते
हाँ,
हैं
मत
हाँ?
लीजिए. Please don't. Don't.
Have you felt, I mean, in fact, you mentioned about being in such dangerous situations.
जी.
Have you felt scared?
हाँ, that's an interesting question. Mahabharat में, I remember that sentence from Karna which I like very much. I often tell my wife, जो योद्धा भयभीत नहीं होते वो काट के होते हैं. मतलब those warriors who don't feel fear are actually made of wood. So डर सबको लगता है, गला सबका सूखता है, but डर के आगे जीत है. I've been through that once when someone called me at midday and threatened me about my son. My son was only 6 years old. And because they could not bribe me, because they could not intimidate me with my own life, so someone called me and said, "Ke, I know that you have a 6 year old son and he goes to a school." So at that time, how will you react to that? Tell me. Uh, but even now, when I think about it, 20 years has passed since that incident. But I just very calmly told him that you don't have complete information. That boy is in Saraswati Vidyalaya, class 2C. His full name is Ali Zaidi. Tell me, what would have happened? This guy will trying to threaten that he knows that I have a child. I am giving the address that he's in so and so school, in so and so division, so and so class. So when the man realized that I am not normal, I'm totally demented, deranged, lunatic. He cannot threaten me. I cannot get intimidated or swayed. So I should have been like pleading. I should have been on my knees. अरे भाई जान दो भाई बच्चे को क्यों बीच में ला रहे हो? I'm saying नहीं नहीं please जाओ मारो यार no problem देख लेंगे. So well.
So I'm sure even demented people, but who are in this profession, would have some rules for them.
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you have do's and don'ts?
हाँ. See, you have to understand one thing, that most of the gangsters are Muslims. Bombay has a Muslim mafia and a very powerful Muslim mafia. You have so many Muslim gangsters everywhere. Even if you look at my podcast, you will see me interviewing all the Muslim gangsters. Now, Muslims are trying to be very social. They want to wish you. They have to several Eids in a year. They have three Eids, so they want to wish you an Eid Mubarak. They want to call you home. They want to call you for biryani. They want to call you for so many other feasts. Then the road weddings and all that. So my simple rule was that I will never intermingle with them in their festivals. I will never wish them Eid Mubarak. I will never go to their parties. I will never attend their functions, their gatherings. I will never invite them to my place. Even if today, despite all of them having my numbers, me having everyone's number, I don't even wish them Eid Mubarak. In fact, on Eid day, I switch off my phone. So, not to be close to them, not to wine and dine with them. I don't drink wine actually, but I never go in close to their Eid and their Shir Khurma on those days. So, that's a part of my do's and don'ts.
So, uh, but there is a certain kind of, I mean, even even more so, I was going to say that these guys want to build a certain kind of mythology about
Yeah.
themselves, right? And we all know, I've also been in journalism, so I understand that sometimes they also try to build this mythology or
Yeah, yeah, of course.
reputation to
Yeah,
through journalism.
correct.
How did you manage to protect yourself from that? How did you ascertain facts?
So, when Abu Salim was not yet extradited, he was still in Dubai and trying to create terror among the film industry in Mumbai. And I wrote a couple of stories about him, that how you were targeting poor stars like Subhash Ghai, Amir Khan, and he was threatening other film people. So he called me and said, "Why are you doing this? I mean, why are you targeting film people? I mean, if at all you are a gangster, you may go after rival gangs. Why filmmakers and film stars?" So he said कि अरे हुसैन भाई आप तो अपने वाले हो, why don't you understand हमारे, I said नहीं मैं अपने वाला नहीं रह गया हूँ, my wife is Hindu, I've converted to Hinduism, मैं आप वाला नहीं हूँ. So he was totally shocked. He said कभी ऐसा हुआ, आपका नाम तो चेंज नहीं हुआ. I said हो गया, I am not Hussain Zaidi, I am Bhushan Zaidi. So the man never tried to woo me or never tried to, talk to me apne wale ho. Because today he hates me. Even when he comes to the hearing in court and I go there, he just looks at me and goes that side. He doesn't want to talk to me. So
Okay, now coming to your process a little bit, because many people here would be interested in how to part of it. You are a very prolific writer, writing, having written 14
that's my
books,
living. If I don't write, I will not.
and this kind of
I'll
a
be dead. If I don't write, I'll be dead.
I know, but the kind of books that you write, I mean, those are not that. Okay, I will write it in a certain amount
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
It needs its own logistics.
Ji.
So, what's your process? How have you been able to write these many books?
So actually, book writing is very easy. Yeah. My whole point is that the youngsters today, they don't want to experiment. They don't want to attempt. They don't want to try. Uh, It's like, when we are young and we're trying to ride a bicycle, how we're scared about not able to, pedal both at the same time and the cycle would be moving smoothly. That fear does not allow us to ride the bicycle. Similarly, for the books, I mean, I feel that all of you can write a book and all of you should try a non-fiction book actually. And it's very easy. What you have to do is you have to just have a idea in your mind and you should start writing. The first process is always to vomit your idea on the page. So, whatever, it could be gobbled, gibberish, confused, totally convoluted, no clarity, but that idea, whatever has come on that page, will become your roadmap after that. I mean, I didn't want to say this, but since Mr. Nish Kumar said that मैंने कल आपका भांडा फोड़ दिया है, so I'm just trying to tell you that Mr. Kumar, a dear friend of mine, was police commissioner of Delhi, a very famous, very fantastic, efficient guy. I told you that he was the chief of DIG STF of CBI when bomb blast investigation happening. He was not willing to write a book. Actually, we both have gone to an event together. where Mr. Neeraj Kumar pointed out that Bangalore to Bangkok has several factual errors in it. It's quite possible. I mean, if I'm trying to do a book in a hurry, there'll be a lot of factual errors. But then the whole idea in Bombay, there's a joke. Just listen to this joke, then I'll come to the story again. If you ask the driver, Ola driver or some Uber driver, अरे भाई ठीक से चलाओ, तो that है तू ही आगे चला जा आगे. You come and you drive. मैं पीछे बैठ जाता हूँ. So when he kind of find fault in my
You
biker to
did the
Bangkok,
same thing.
yeah, I said, sir, आप क्यों नहीं लिखते? You should also write a book. You have been a commissioner. You have a 30-year, 35-year service. You know so much. I mean, you have been DGP of a state. You are CBI officer. You have done so much. Why don't you write a book? So at that time, he was a bit hesitant and reluctant that he can't or he should not. But once when he started writing, you will not believe that his books have sold more than my books. Okay. And this he has started much later after his retirement. My point is that so like there are so many scores of books are hidden in him. If he wants to write, he can write and maybe can still come out with gems of so many books. So similarly, others can also attempt to write. The point is that the block that they have in the head that they can't write a non-fiction book and they can't attempt to write, or how will they write, or what is the beginning, what is the end, or how to kind of do the process of research. It's much easier than what they think.
So, but is there? That's like okay. The best thing about writing a book is to start.
To
Till the
start.
time you don't start, you can just keep thinking.
Correct.
But after that, I wanted to ask you:
Yeah.
do you follow a certain process?
Yeah, yeah. So what I do is that sometimes my first draft is always very bad and unreadable, and my worst critic is my own wife. She reads my book and she dismisses them. अरे हुसैन कोई नहीं पढ़ेगा बहुत बकवास है. And when I listen this, I mean, after that hard work, when you have put in the book, and when your wife tells you that what to react. I mean, for example, Dongri Dubai, I took 7 years to research that book. 7 years, and after a time, my publishers thought I'm conning them. I've taken 75,000 rupees from them, and I will not write a book. So I was still struggling to write that book. So after 7 years, when I thought I finished the first draft, I gave it to my wife. My wife was also a veteran journalist, and it's she who has brought me to crime journalism. I was a business journalist earlier. I was writing for Exhibition World. She was a crime journalist. So she kind of said, why do you come to mainstream and do crime journalism? So it's thanks to her misdeeds, I would say. Not the credit, I would say. I became a crime journalist, and sometime back they were talking about Eklavya, Dronacharya, and Arjuna. So the same way Arjuna became more famous than Dronacharya. So she has not written any books, so that's why people don't know much about her. But when I gave her the manuscript of Dongri Dubai, she looked at the book and said, Hussain, where are the women? I said, what women? He said, Dawood and his women. Where is Mandakini? Where is Majabin? Where are all those girls? Who is going to read this book without those women? Dawood matlab womanizer. Dawood matlab Casanova. Dawood matlab, he has to have affair and actresses there. And she kind of dismissed that book even before my publisher will say a single comment. So the process is showed to your worst enemy. Let that guy say something about it, and you will realize that the guy is jealous and he's trying to find flaws in that story of yours, but maybe a couple of things would be useful for you. So then maybe you can implement those ideas. Then I wrote Mandakini chapter in Dawood book, and then people have loved that chapter. In fact, even Mandakini liked that chapter. She told she told a friend of hers कि हुसैन ने ये काम बहुत fairly, yes, and objectively read that chapter. So I'm saying you should always share your books with your friends and your critics, and then you keep improving. So then improve the draft. Just a small secret. I wrote that book in 22 drafts. So I wrote that book 22 times, from beginning to end, changing chapters, sequences, and the way the whole events got calibrated there. So it's an effort. You have to struggle to do that book right.
So I will ask you one last question before opening
Sure.
it to.
Yeah.
We decided that we will keep more time for your questions.
Thank you.
Many of your books have been adapted for screen.
Ji.
Now I also have a little bit of experience from that side. And I realized that even though it helps to take your books to a larger number of people, writers are seldom satisfied about it, because the nature of the screen adaptation is that it can always simplify the moral complexity of the book that you have tried. A famous and prolific writer, Stephen King, it is said about him, though some of the films that has been made on his are classics,
Yeah.
but still he has never been satisfied, never been happy. What has been your experience?
I have a lot of friends in industry. I still want to write books and I want them to make movies. If if I give a very honest comment here, nobody will adapt my book into movies after this.
Now, till now, you have been honest about much more dangerous people.
Yeah. No, but these are commercial people. They are not dangerous. They will say ये बहुत बकवास करता है. Will not make his books into movies. I'm writing for movies. I'm the Jackie Chan of non-fiction. I am not trying for any awards, any Oscar, any Pulitzer. I just write books so that the filmmakers can take those books, make movies, and I can get some money because publishers don't pay you. I mean, I'm sorry, Dipti must be here somewhere, but publishers, they only are concerned about their own pockets. And ek bar they have paid advance, then you forget. You won't get any royalties. You won't get any money at all. Maybe after 3 years, they will tell you that there's some 2,000 rupees royalties there for you. But it's the filmmakers who pay you money and you make on your bread and butter there. So,
I will take that noting very seriously.
yeah.
But okay, so don't tell us about your worst experience.
Okay.
But which one is your favorite?
Okay. See, you guys have to watch movies and also read the book to understand my pain. I mean, to
Yes.
understand that uh, I'm laughing at it now, I'm trying to be brave about it. But you have to read the story and then you have to see the movie and you will see how that story has not been uh, distorted, but I would say it's been mutilated. It has been, defaced. It has been. I mean, in my childhood, I'd seen a movie. I think people of my age will identify with this story. That we saw one movie where Rishi Kapoor was romancing Poonam Dillon. Ye waada raha. And after the interval, Poonam Dillon became Tina Munim. Ye waada raha, acha, ye waada raha. So in that movie, Poonam Dillon became Tina Munim. And somehow the audience accepted that. But in my case, the Poonam Dillon became Tina Munim from the second scene itself. And I can't raise a protest. So once when I told a director, यार क्या कर रहे हो तुम? I mean, the way you are doing it, it is not doing justice to the story. You are taking it away from my book, and the story is totally different. He said, Hussain, I have invested 50 crore rupees on this movie. I know what works, and my hero wants to be a do-gooder and a good man. He doesn't want to look like a very bad, very maniacal killer. So I have to, pamper his ego and make a movie accordingly. So you have written the book. It's a very nice book. Now let me do my job and make a movie. Even if your book gets sacrificed in the process, that's fine. So खून के आंसू बहा के I used to keep my mouth shut.
If one thing is true about film industry, and you also know this,
Correct.
that nobody knows what works.
Right.
So,
Correct.
on that note, let me ask for audience questions. Please raise your hands if you have. Mike, shall I give you my mic?
Good afternoon, Hussain Ji. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
I've read most of your books. I
Thank you.
also watch your podcast.
Thank you.
And Zero Man is my favorite.
Thank you.
So my question, I think you've been asked this question many times, but I really wanted to ask you in person. How do you manage your khabris? Because you seem to know before the crime happens where it's going to happen. So how do you manage your khabris? How are you rivaling the Mumbai police in your knowledge of crime and criminals?
मुंबई पुलिस को कुछ नहीं आता. Mumbai police is the worst police.
They're
They are
second only to
useless.
Scotland Yard, sir.
Not
Don't
at
say
all.
that.
See, they must have given a daru bottle to a journalist and he has written that. And after that, people start believing that nonsense fable. Okay, they are the best after Scotland Yard. For example, March 12, 1993, 3 days before that, Mumbai police are aware that Tiger Memon is going to orchestrate a huge terror attack in Mumbai. It's on records. I mean,
Gullu, yeah.
yeah, Gullu, correct. See, you even remember name. But then Mumbai police have not been able to foil it. Similarly, so many other terror attacks and so many other incidents. For Gulshan Kumar, I mean, I will not name the officer. When Salim, I was arguing with Abu Salim on phone that you don't deserve to be a don, you are useless, you are getting people from Azamgarh who can't even shoot correct, so you better not be a don, go back to Azamgarh. He said, Agle hafte I'm going to kill someone definitely. So this he told me on 5th August 1997. I took a cab from my Indian Express office. I rushed to Joint Commissioner of Crime and I went and told him that next week Abu Salim is going to kill someone. Please try to do something about it. They should have like had enough intelligence, but they gave security to Pahlaj Nehrani, who was the president of IMPA at that time. Poor Gulshan Kumar got killed on 12th August 1997, exactly a week after this incident. So the point I'm trying to make is that you can't rely on them, you can't depend on them, you can't trust Mumbai police at all. The Khabri things at all, Khabri is the lifeblood of information for any investigation or anyone. In riots of Mumbai 92-93, when there was a communal problem between Hindus and Muslims in Mumbai, Mumbai police started picking up their own informer Khabris who were providing valuable information to them, putting them behind the bars or kind of registering cases against them. So their whole network is kind of destroyed in that. Now for me, Khabris need some kind of favor. For example, they want that I should try to not be going against them hammer and tongs. Sometimes you sensationalize a story. They for example, Manish Tala was a khabri of mine. He used to write to me when he was in jail in Asa Road, and he used to write to me in a very nice, fluent English, typewritten letters. So I was totally surprised. How did he manage to do that? But what they wanted was that I will not sensationalize the story, and I will not try to go beyond the boundaries like of the verifiable information. So in a way, that was one part. The part two was that sometimes they are afraid that the cops might try to threaten them and try to exploit their women in some way, pressurize them in some way. So I should try to be a journalist away who will try to write stories if at all such a thing happened. That's why I wrote the story Fourth Degree Torture of Mumbai Police, where they were getting women in the police station and trying to threaten men to have a confessional statement signed by them. Under TADA, that's the law. So there are 2-3 ways where I just try to oblige them in some way and try to do some favors to them. So they are okay to talk. I don't spend money on them. I spend money only on cops. I don't spend money on khabris. Because police wala paise ke bighair kaam nahi karta. So that's a problem. Yes.
Sir, this is another question here. This is more about the writing process. You spoke about the 22 drafts.
Ji.
And in the prolific writing, is there any books which you decided, fine, even after 22 or 25 drafts, they're still not there and cannot come out? And how does it feel when you have that?
No, then I got tired after 22 drafts. I thought abhi kar lete hain. Now I'll say that we'll see how publishers react to it. So I kind of, after 22 drafts, I did not even attempt to do any improvement in that one. I sent it after that.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, Hussain Ji. Big fan of your work and trying to finish all your books.
Thank you.
I'm a Bollywood buff also.
Wow.
And I wanted to ask you that there's always, whenever anybody talks about the underworld, amongst like general people, there's this linkage of underworld and Bollywood that's always spoken about. And somehow or the other, it's always like big news. So in your opinion and in your experience, why is that so? What is it that brings these two worlds together all the time and has people talk about them in the same vein almost sometimes, that Bollywood and underworld has these connections? So I'd love to hear from you on what you think about that, and why do you think that is still the case?
How old are you? Sorry.
How old I am? I'm 33.
Have you fallen in love ever?
Yes, lots of times.
Fantastic. So I'll only talk about one time.
Yeah, the ultimate time. Yeah.
So you were totally fascinated with your guy, and he was totally, besotted with you. So you both were crazy about each other at that
We're now
time.
married. Yeah.
Okay, your husband. Well,
Yes, my husband.
thank you. But the example, the analogy that I was trying to give here was that there
Huh.
was a concept called mutual fascination.
Correct.
You both were fascinated with each other.
Hmm.
Similarly, Bollywood and Mafia, they both are in love with each other. Mafia wants to make movies on Dawood Ibrahim all the time. Or some underworld character. They have to make movies on crime. So I said from Satya to Dhurandhar.
Correct. Huh.
It's only underworld that's selling,
Hmm.
one thing. So there is a fascination about them. Now look at the movie side. For movies, guys, they feel that if they talk to underworld bhais, they are in power. They feel very powerful. I will not name the star, but he was known for doing settlement in the film industry. He did this for so many actresses. And whenever people go and meet him, say, Bhai se abhi baat kiya. I've just kept the phone down. And then you must have known about that famous incident where in Nashik, a director and a
Yeah.
star, they spoke to Chota Shakti for 3 hours. So my whole point is, it's not anything else, but both of them are fascinated. Bollywood wants to like take something from Mafia, and Mafia wants to take something from Bollywood. So it's the love. I mean, the kind of, madness or infatuation, whatever you can call it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I hope I have not crossed any boundaries with you. I asked your age. I thought I should not have done that.
So, Mr. Zaidi,
Sir.
first of all, I think Mumbai Avengers was the first book I read of yours.
Thank you.
Amazing book. One thing I have a question is you are in the throes of a very dangerous field. Like you talk to gangsters and people from the underworld. So my question is, how do you safeguard yourself from A, like you spoke about the threats that you got, and B, you were also targeted. So what are the precautions that you take to protect
I
yourself from
don't
threats?
take any precautions. I've never applied for security. I mean, so many times commissioners have said I should apply for a gun license at least for my self-defense. But I know that I'm so angry, sometimes I can shoot my wife. So I thought I should not apply for gun license at all. No, see, so many men can identify that आपने गन अपनी जान बचाने लिए रखी थी and you'll end up killing your own wife. So I don't apply for security, I don't apply for gun, but the whole thing is I have never thought of safeguarding myself. I think in the beginning of this program I've said that I'm a bit demented and deranged and not normal. So once I did a story against Chota Shakil. I exposed his girlfriend, Shamim Mirza Begum, called as Mrs. Paul. Actually, she was not his girlfriend. She was his hitman Arif Mirza's wife. So I wrote the story how Arif Mirza is rotting in jail and how he is having affair, a long distance affair from Karachi to Kurla. So he was having an affair, Kurla in Mumbai. So I wrote that story that how, what kind of man he is and all that. So he called me, said, "Tumne itni baatein likhi hai, I'm going to kill you and all that." So he threatened me, and I kind of at that time thought what to do, how to react to this threat. So in 2004, we Indians were totally in love with Pakistan. We thought we'll go in bus and go and hug Nawaz Sharif, and we thought we'll go and play in Pakistan. So I thought I will also go to Pakistan. Then I applied for visa. My editor said, "You are not even a sports journalist." I said, "No, I want to go to Pakistan." So then I traveled to Pakistan in 2004 and I called Chota Shakil from airport, Karachi, Muhammad Ali Jinnah International Airport. I called Shakil and said, "I'm standing here right outside the airport in front of McDonald's and I'm wearing black pant and black shirt. I'll be here for 2 hours. Send your men, as many people as you want to kill me." So the first thing was denial. "Oh, I'm not in Pakistan." I said, "Oh, ठीक है, no problem. But you'll have your henchmen, send them, get me killed." So, like for 2 hours, he argued with me, but nothing happened. After that, kind of, I traveled Pakistan. I saw Lahore, Karachi, Anarkali Market. I had some fantastic food in Pakistan, and then I came back, but nothing happened to me. अब जब वहाँ जाके भी नहीं मारा उन लोगों ने, तो why will how can they kill me here in Mumbai? My point is that. Oh yeah. I treat my young sons as my equal. So I kind of have told them that, "Beta, you have to be ready, and we have to be like very careful whatever happens around you. So if at all you see any suspicious person, you should try to run. Or I always taught them, actually they both are into bodybuilding now. I got them into gymming when they were only 12, 13. I took them to gym, and both of them are now fantastic muscular people. They can kill 10 people alone if they want to. I can show photographs. I have huge, buffy, muscular guys. So underworld guys will not come close to them. So, but when they were young, I taught them two secrets about if at all someone comes close to them, where to hit hard and what to use to hit them. So I taught them to use their elbow and their knee, I mean, yeah, to defend themselves if at all someone comes close to them. So they said they were followed once. My elder son said that he was followed once, but the guy did not come close to him for some reason. That's how. So, but I think God has protected them, saved them. Otherwise, underworld ka to kya?
Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah, I can.
So, a lot of serious questions have been asked. A little non-serious question would be
We were not having serious questions. We were laughing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Nothing says about underworld. Yeah.
So, have you been inspired or motivated by
To become
any
a gangster.
any fictional authors or their writings? And have you used any technique? Because you have all your content, you have all your research, and you do it for years on end, right? And after that, when you create your drafts, do you think like, okay, इसमें थोड़ा masala missing है, या फिर इसमें there is some sort of like I have to bring something here to add more to the story or something like that. So, do you get any inspiration from any fictional writers or books?
I mean, I've read Jeffrey Archer a lot, and I've read Scott Turow. I've read so many other authors. Um, as far as inspiration is concerned, I mean, I like the storytelling and I like the way they kind of unravel the plot. But I was not much inspired in that sense. What I wanted to do, or I'm trying to tell you is that I tried to do a love story between a hitman and a hit woman. So, so the prem kahani of two, underworld characters, and that prem kahani mein those guys' profession will be side thing. Actually, there would be more romance, a lot of romance. There won't be killing, violence, bloodshed at all. So I tried to sell this story to so many people. The prem kahani of two killers, Katilon ki prem kahani. So, but somehow people did not like it. They don't love, they don't romance. I said, who is saying? I mean, actually, underworld guys are more romantic. So, but imagine Shakil having affair with Mrs. Paul. So from Karachi, but nobody's touching that. So my point is my inspiration.
did you try by changing your name, like छद्म नाम बोलते हैं या कुछ? हाँ?
उसने जेके रोलिंग ने किया एक बार रॉबर्ट गिलबर्ट का नाम चेंज करके. आई थिंक इवन दैट बुक डिडंट वर्क. सो आई थिंक वो होता नहीं है. दे ओनली रीड इफ दे नो हु इज द ऑथर एंड इफ इज अ नोन गाय. दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम. बट आई एम सॉरी, आई मीन आई कुड नॉट आंसर योर क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर्ली.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, sir. Do you have any tips for, hypothetically, an aspiring 24-year-old crime journalist?
You're a crime journalist?
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not. I'm a writer and I.
Why do you want to know? I mean,
where would,
मैं खाना नहीं पकाता हूँ लेकिन खाना पकाना सीखना चाहता हूँ.
I'm a writer, but where would one start with,
No, you want to be
covering
crime journalist or you want to be crime writer? I thought you want to be aspiring crime journalist. You said.
crime journalist?
So you should become crime journalist.
Okay. Where would one start?
Go and intern with any newspaper for 2-3 months. I mean, it could be some top newspaper of your city. For 3 months, just go and offer yourself as an intern without any salary for 3 months.
Okay.
Learn the trade craft. See, in crime journalism, crime journalists are very lazy people. They go to police commissioner's office, press room in that city, and they just quote the press release, Varta Patra, and they write their crime stories. I'm saying you be different. You try to go to the core of the matter. You try to write the stories differently. For 3 months, you come out with bylines which are different from others. After 3 months, your employer will be forced to give you a job when they will see your work and your hard work. And then you can start focusing on crime journalism. But as I said, don't become a crime journalist the way they do in Mumbai. In Mumbai, they do a very sloppy work of crime reporting. So don't do that kind of work. You have to look for exclusives, page one. You have to look for those stories which have not been told before or nobody has covered that story. So start with that. Special stories, what they call these days, special stories. So go for special stories and just focus on them. I think your career will be made in a year's time. And if in a year or two you have been an established crime journalist who know the functioning of police, underworld, crime, and other things, then you can attempt writing a book after that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We've got time for one question.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Have the cops ever approached you for help because they were not able to solve something or catch someone? Be honest without names, at least.
Twice it has happened that they've approached me. So, but the whole thing is that I was not as much impressed as much as one actress whose boyfriend has gone missing, and he was an industrialist. So she said that asked cops for last 2 years. I'm trying to trace him, but I've not been able to trace him. Can you trace him for me and let me know where is he gone? Has he vanished? Is he alive? Is he dead? So I was surprised that why have you gone to police commissioner and all that? So I've gone everywhere, but they're not able to trace him. So one famous actress case I can tell you that she came to me and I refused to help her because I thought बात आगे बढ़ जाएगी तो गड़बड़ी हो जाएगी. My wife will divorce me.
So I think, okay, go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we're hearing about this unknown gunman from Pakistan. What's your view? I'm considering you a specialist in Pakistan story. What is your view of?
So there is no unknown gun. They are
so
known
you
gunmen.
think that it is their own
They are known
fighting?
gun. Yeah, they are known gunmen. See, our government is not able to do it nicely. Like killing Nijjar in Canada was very bad way of doing things. But in Pakistan, they are quite expert. So my whole thing is that they have killed 58 people so far. The target was 60. They tried killing 60, but 2 people survived. 50 people have been killed. I mean, one officer in Mumbai is keeping a track. He's also writing a book. So he shared the names and the incidents and the dates and the way those guys were killed. So it all started with Dawood Mistry, who was ICR 814 hijacker. So from there, he went on telling me the stories where in Canada, Pakistan, Nepal, Dhaka, they have killed 58 people and they are not unknown. They are working for the Indian government. I can't reveal beyond this.
So just one small last thing from me.
Ji.
Just came to my mind that the Mumbai underworld story, that the way Mumbai underworld, the way you have been writing, has that like kind of reached its end and the crime has transformed into more new ways of, let's say, data, finance, cyber, and those things?
Yeah, the crime modus operandi has changed now. Now the underworld guys are now lying low. They don't want to go out and like shoot, kill, extort. So those conventional crimes are not being now committed. They are gone to different things. Like how slums, there's a slum development thing in Mumbai. So they are now started investing in slums. Okay, whenever they are making high rise, so they'll say 50 झोपड़े हमारे. So that's how they start doing crimes now. And then Hawala and other stuff. So the crime thing has changed absolutely differently from 90s. The crimes of this time, of this era is...
So the organized crime is still there.
Well, they are
it's just
organized,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
are into different things.
Correct. So which is this vacuum, the void that the people felt in the underworld. Suddenly one young boy called Lawrence L. Bishnoi. So he suddenly thought that he can become a don and he applied for it and government accepted the application. And now he is becoming the ruling don of India. So he is going to become the bigger than Dawood Ibrahim because he's a government certified don. ruling from Sabarmati, ISO 9002. So अभी ऐसा नया टाइप के डॉन्स आने लगे हैं. So I don't know if I want to write about them or not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, panelists.